Watch the entire video, my lovely viewers, to get the whole thing. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into it.
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Hi lovely viewers, it's me again, your one and only Mpundu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button down below. Turn the bell icon to join the notification squad. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, and through you, members of the press, let me address our fellow citizens and members of the international community. It is with a deep sense of duty and unwavering commitment to the people of Zambia that I come before you today, not just as acting president of the Patriotic Front, but as a representative of the many Zambian citizens who cherish our nation's peace, democratic order, and sovereign integrity. What has been unfolding in recent days, from leaked audios to wild declarations by individuals with no legal or moral authority, must not and should not go unchallenged. Today, we in the Patriotic Front would like to firmly and factually respond to the dangerous claims, reckless threats, and political sabotage that now hang like a dark cloud over our dear country. Zambia's largest opposition party and a political movement that was founded on the values of transparency, the rule of law, and respect for institutional integrity, categorically distances itself from the conduct, statements, and illegal operations being perpetuated by the UPND government, either directly or through its surrogates. Before I proceed, let me speak about the legitimacy of the PF in relation to Chief Surrogate of Community House, one Robert Chavinga, who was on numerous occasions purported to have represented the PF as its president. Let it be known, both locally and internationally, that Robert Chavinga has no mandate to speak, act, or represent the Patriotic Front in any capacity whatsoever. His actions are not only illegal, they are in contempt of judicial authority and an affront to Zambia's democratic institutions. The matter of Robert Chavinga was decisively settled in the High Court judgment in the case of Miles Sampa versus Robert Chavinga and others, where the court ruled that Miles Sampa's activities, including any appointments made thereafter, were null and void. This ruling extended to all his purported appointees, including Robert Chavinga. Therefore, Chavinga remains nothing more than a political imposter parading with no legal backing, and his continued attempts to mislead the public amount to calculated political fraud. Shockingly, despite this clear judicial directive, the Speaker of the National Assembly, and the Vice President of Zambia have willfully undermined the rule of law. The Speaker allowed Robert Chavinga to assume the role of leader of opposition in direct violation of the court's ruling. Even when the party wrote to her to inform her that the rightful leader of opposition is Miles Isamba, she still refuses with impunity to recognize Miles Isamba and continues to recognize the imposter in the name of Robert Chavinga. Even more disturbingly, the Vice President acknowledges Chavinga as president, and she did so during a session of Parliament, thereby actively participating in what we can only describe as the abuse of constitutional office for partisan manipulation. This blatant disregard for the separation of powers is deeply troubling. When state institutions, particularly the National Assembly, as the executive, begin to override court decisions to serve a narrow political agenda, then you know that Zambia's democracy stands on very dangerous ground. Members of the press, my fellow citizens, the judiciary has spoken over this matter, and the law is clear. Robert Chavinga does not represent the Patriotic Front. He, as a matter of fact, was expelled from the party, and to date he has not appealed that expulsion. As such, he remains expelled. Any individual institution, be it Speaker, Minister, Vice President, or even Hagainde himself, that continue to recognize him as such, is knowingly undermining the rule of law and committing a direct assault on Zambia's constitutional democracy. The PF Constitution, in harmony with Articles 60 and 72 of the Zambian Constitution, provides clear mechanisms for leadership, succession, and disciplinary procedures. And all these have been abided by the Patriotic Front. We in the Patriotic Front are deeply alarmed by the shocking revelations emerging from the now viral audio involving expelled Member of Parliament Robert Chavinga and Cabinet Minister Doreen Mwamba. This recording confirms what we have long suspected, that President Hakainde Hichilema's administration is actively using state institutions and individuals like Chavinga to sabotage the PF and to manipulate legal and political processes. This, even during the mourning period of our beloved late 6th Republican President, Edgar Chagwa Lungu. I have stated before that lies have long legs. They run fast. But the truth has short legs. They run slowly, but they are strong. Whereas long legs get tired, short legs endure. And always lies will be caught up by the truth. Hakainde has always told us he has nothing to do with the destruction of the Patriotic Front. But the short legs of the truth have caught up with those lies. Finally, Chavinga has spoken. Finally, Chavinga has told us that actually he can receive 12 missed calls in one night from 23:30 to 2:30. Missed phone calls from no other than the one he's referring to as boss. And the boss of Chabinga is also boss of Minister Doreen Mwamba. Who could that be? You can't hide behind your finger now. Boss to Doreen Mwamba. Are you able to hide behind your finger? Lies are weak. The truth always prevails. Mwamo nekilaba hagainde. Let us be clear. Let us be very clear. The government-sponsored mission to South Africa, I will repeat that. The government-sponsored mission to South Africa by Robert Chabinga, facilitated by the highest office of the land and the leader of the pinnacle of Zambia's intelligence system, was not a coincidence. I stated already, the only boss to Doreen Mwamba is the occupant of the highest office in the land. It can't be any junior. It's the highest office in the land. And the Friday Nyambe that can be involved in this cannot be any other but the Friday Nyambe that all of us know. The one who leads the pinnacle of Zambia's intelligence system. And that couldn't have been a coincidence. No. Especially when phone calls were being made in the wee hours of the night. It was an orchestrated move meant to interfere with legal proceedings taking place in South Africa. It was meant to disrupt the Lungu family's plans on where to put to rest the mortal remains of their dear father, dear husband, and our dear president. It was orchestrated to provoke political tension between nations. It was all deliberate. If it wasn't deliberate, then we're being governed by a very ignorant man. One who doesn't realize that to set up missions such as the one that Chabinga went for to South Africa is a provocation of the sovereignty of neighborly states. And if we have such an ignorant person in State House, then we as a country are like a plane with a blindfolded pilot. Chabinga's own words in the leaked video speak volumes. And they expose disturbing allegations, including attempted bribery of South African judges. It involves the mobilization of Metro Police and the claim of incoming funds amounting to $1.5 million. This is no play matter. This is a serious matter. Perhaps what Chabinga is trying to say to us, when he said to the police, he's going to break into a house of one of the PF members or a number of PF members who are keeping $1.5 million, and that the police must stay away. Probably this is preemptive. Probably he wants to say to us, thank you, President Hagainde, for giving me $1.5 million. When the people start seeing me using $1.5 million to destabilize PF, they must not know it is from you. They must assume it is money that I picked from some PF house. We challenge Chavinga. Can he do it tonight? Let him mobilize not only UPND cadres, but let him mobilize the police to go and ransack that house where he claims $1.5 million is being kept. The question we have to ask is, Chavinga already told us who bought him the ticket to go to South Africa. He told the whole world in that leaked video that the ticket was organized for him. Who organized it? He told us that was organized by the state with the full knowledge of Doreen Mwamba's boss. Is there any doubt anymore that all his undertakings in South Africa, and therefore all his undertakings in Zambia, are financed in a similar manner? Financed by Doreen Mwamba's boss. May I, on behalf of my colleagues in the Central Committee, my colleagues in the Council of Leaders, ask a very rhetorical question. Rhetorical because I know that no action shall be taken. Where is the Anti-Corruption Commission? Where is the Drug Enforcement Commission? When Chavinga has appealed to us, is exposed Doreen Mwamba's boss, that it is he who is financing that private surrogate. Chavinga is not a minister of state. He's not a government official. And yet he told us Doreen Mwamba's boss and the man at the helm of Zambia's intelligence system facilitated for his movement on subvert activities in South Africa. SEC, where are you? DEC, where are you? Police, where are you? A thief has reported himself. Why are you not effecting arrest? I said it was rhetorical because none of them will answer. The SEC will run when Chavinga says, that one has money, the SEC will run. But when Chavinga says, me, I'm a surrogate, I've been sponsored to go to South Africa to go and create tension between these two sister nations, the police are quiet. To our South African brothers and sisters, and especially to His Excellency President Ramaphosa, on behalf of the PF, we have an appeal to make. We appeal to you as our partners in the liberation of Africa. We appeal to you as our neighbors that the name you are hearing parading itself as a member of the Patriotic Front does not in any way represent us. We in the Patriotic Front are not involved in these subversive activities, and we condemn them in the strongest terms possible. What we ask of you, President Ramaphosa, is to join all friendly forces to protect our rights, to mourn our late departed leader with dignity and in peace, without interference from rogue elements such as Chavinga and his sponsors. The likes of Chavinga are only being used to spark diplomatic tensions, which we condemn. We urge restraint, mutual respect, and rejection of the lies being peddled by the UPMD regime. We appeal to our brothers and sisters in South Africa not to be swayed by falsehoods. We in the Patriotic Front, the party to which our 6th Republican President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa proudly belonged, together with all meaning and patriotic Zambia, across political affiliations, are united in standing behind the family of President Edgar Chagwa. The protests that have been organized in South Africa are a clear exhibition of the wishes of those who sponsored Robert Chabinga to travel to South Africa. They are but just staged, managed protests by people who are paid. Even they themselves who are protesting in South Africa know that they are doing it for pieces of silver, not out of conviction. We therefore pledge our total and full support for the decisions of the family. It is our moral responsibility to ease their burden and to bring comfort, not to aggravate their grief, in the manner that Chabinga and sponsors are doing. All that Chabinga is trying to do is to aggravate the suffering of the family of President Edgar Chagwa. And those who are sponsoring him are likewise only intending to do one thing: to aggravate the suffering of the bereaved family. In times like this, decency, empathy, and truth must prevail over propaganda, cruelty, and political opportunism. We heard Chabinga say, let us do this to cleanse our president. Cleanse him of what? Chabinga, tell us the dirt around that president, which you intend to cleanse. Tell us. We have always said that President Hakainde Hichilema has his fingerprints and his footprints everywhere in the course of the destruction of the Patriotic Front. And he has continued to deny it. I ask him, Nomutulela, Babali, today, can you also say Chabinga is lying? Or are you going to join your people to say that audio was AI generated? Tell us, Bali. Tell us. Defend yourself. Tell us that you did not call Chabinga 12 times between 23:30 and 2:30. Tell us that Doreen Mwamba is also lying. Bali, I'm willing to change your name from Bali Muntu BMW. If today you can say truthfully that Chabinga is a liar. And if indeed Chabinga lied about you, the boss of Doreen Mwamba, have him arrested. Your failure to arrest Chabinga for bringing your name into disrepute will be confirmation of the fact that you are actually double BMW. I would like to advise you My dear brother, by now you should have realized that your strategy to destroy the Patriotic Front shall not work.
Yes.
By now you should have realized that the Patriotic Front is not a piece of paper. By now you should have realized that the Patriotic Front is not in the hands of one person. The Patriotic Front is a living spirit, and you will not destroy it. No matter how hard you try, you will not destroy it. As a matter of fact, President Hakainde, even those whom you take away from the Patriotic Front shall only be away for a short time, because they will come back to the spirit of the Patriotic Front. And they will tell us exactly how you are abusing them. And this obsession that you have to destroy the Patriotic Front has started to backfire.
Correct.
What happened with Chavinga is just a start of the implementation and rolling out of Plan B. If you think Plan B is dead, no. It is still alive and kicking.
Correct.
And President Hakainde, did I remind you that before you became president, Zambia was declared a Christian nation?
Yes.
And until such a day and time when God himself decides to remove his hand over Zambia, Zambia shall still continue to be driven by God's love.
Amen.
Any period without God's love shall just be a passing cloud. The people of Zambia are watching. The world is listening. And God is watching over his country. And I can assure you, nothing and nothing can ever be hidden from the eyes of God. God is going to expose every hidden deed. Your denial of Chavinga has been exposed. More shall be exposed. Because nothing is hidden under the sun. Justice is bound to prevail. For Chavinga to tell us that he was asked to go and bribe judges in South Africa makes us wonder, how many people do you send to bribe Zambian judges? If only one Chavinga can say to you, I'm going to West Africa because judges must eat. The question that begs an answer is, have you experienced the act of making judges eat? How many Zambian judges have eaten? Tell us. You cannot go and try to use your neighbor's children for acts which your own children have not performed. Are you telling us, President Hakainde, that judges in Zambia are also capable of eating? If so, please be truthful. Which ones are eating? So that when we, your victims, are taken to those courts, we should go and say, this one has eaten. So that cases that we're involved in are handled by judges whom we can consider free and fair. For the record, and purely for the record, not that under Hakainde Hichilema we expect anything to take place, but purely for the record, the PF and its partners in the Tonsi Alliance will petition the courts to declare Chavinga's seat vacant. we're doing this purely for the record. Number two, again, purely for the record. We shall call for the Anti-Corruption Commission, the DEC, to immediately investigate Chavinga and his atrocious activities in South Africa. We in the Patriotic Front, together with our partners, shall submit a formal diplomatic complaint to the South African government and to SADC over the political interference and misuse of diplomatic relations. The relations that Zambia enjoys in the international community, and particularly in the SADC, has been earned over many years. President Kenneth David Kaunda, having been one of the founding fathers of the frontline movement, was succeeded by various other presidents: Chiluba, Mwanawasa, Rufia Banda, Michael Sata, and Edgar Lungu in maintaining our relations. And this is the reason why Zambia is of being the beacon of peace in the region. We have not provoked any neighbor whatsoever. We actually have been a seat for the resolution of regional conflicts. And whoever disturbs Zambia's relation with her neighbors or any international country for that matter is creating a dangerous environment, not for themselves, but for the country. As a government in waiting, that when we form government in 2020, our relations with our neighboring countries always be. Zambia is not an island. There are many Zambian children. There are many Zambians who are working in South Africa. Many of you travel through South Africa. Many of you have trading relations with South. We don't want the carelessness of one Chavinga sponsors to destroy our relationship with our dear neighboring country, South Africa. Because of that, we in the Patriotic Front are dutiful, morally and legally, to bring this matter to the attention of the SADC so that we Zambians are exonerated or not party
Correct.
to what is happening. And we denounce it in the strongest terms possible.
Correct.
We will not allow that Zambians should start to fear to go across the borders of our country. We are a responsible partner of the international community. We belong to Zambia, but we also belong to destroy that relationship that we have. I also want to state, for the record, because I heard that Chavinga is going to beat all of us, I stand ready, Chavinga. Come and beat me. I'm always wearing PF regalia because it is not yours. PF regalia belongs to the Zambian people. And if you are threatening to beat up people in Mfue for going to campaign because you have stopped PF from campaigning, come and start with me. I am ready. And unlike your friend who was telling his supporters when they... For us in the Patriotic Front and our friends in Tonse, our motto is that violence feeble We are not going to fight you physically, Chavinga. Come and face me. And I'm sure the moment you see my handsome face, you will realize you can't slap me. The PF and its alliance partners will convene in Mpundu, proudly clad in our regalia, to reaffirm our unity and our commitment to the people of Zambia.
Correct.
I have to say, enough is enough. We will not continue to tolerate this. Enough is enough. First, you take away our name. You go to the Register of Societies and change our certificate.
Share.
Then you go to Parliament and you take away our leader of opposition and replace them with yours.
Share.
And now you even drag our name, international relations, and say PF, don't want the PF. Now finally you're even touching things that don't even talk. Material, chitenge. All because of your fear of the image of Edgar Chagwalo. Indeed, Edgar Chagwalungu invoked fear in you in his life. But he seems to be invoking even greater fear in you in his death. May I remind President Hakainde that Zambia is a democratic state. Zambia is not a one-man state. And also Zambia is not a game ranch. No. Yes. I'm also a headsman. I also, as a boy, used to go and head cattle. And I know how cattle behave. You go heading cattle and you tell cattle, hey, whoop, move this way. Not a single one will protest, say, oh, move. You tell Ngombe, it's time to go in the deep lake, just go and jump into the deep. You tell them it's now time to go into the crow, they all just go into the crow. Yes, we learned those tactics for heading cattle, but you don't apply them. No. You don't lead human beings the way you lead cattle. Human beings are human beings made in the image of God.
Correct.
And human beings are meant to enter into dialogue with yourself. You will not tell us when to sleep and when to wake up, what to say and what not to say. We have our rights to express ourselves in any manner that we wish. And the Zambian people have a right to decide on the kind of life they want to lead. You will not lead us as though you are leading cattle. No, we refuse, sir. We are not in Ngombe. We are human beings. And treat us as human beings. And supporting you, sir, must not be out of cohesion. No. People will respect leaders who show respect for them. You are but only one of us, President. You are not different from us. You breathe the same air that we breathe. You drink the same water that we drink. Don't forget. You walk under the same sky like every Zambian. So please treat us with mutual respect. And I'd like to emphasize that no armed press briefings by expelled impositors who alter people. No. it has not been exposed that the infamous leaked audio is not the product of artificial intelligence, as falsely claimed, but it's a real conversation involving real we're discussing. So don't hide behind AI. No. How can AI start speaking Bemba? Huh? AI is chewing in. AI was able to recognize the people. First, we had some fellow from State House saying the letter from Deputy to Cabinet concerning AI. And then quickly somebody else also from UPND confirms that and says, yes, that letter was a product of AI. And now, Attorney General Kabesha Muliro admits it. Yes, this letter was written by Secretary. Confused chaps. That's what liars do. Liars contradict themselves. That's the reason why they say there is no honor among thieves. And there cannot be honor among liars. That letter which they said was a product of AI has now been proven to be an authentic. And now they want to say that the audio of Chavinga is also a product of AI. Now, it is so laughable that they're all State House. And you know, my friends, State House has many supporting staff. Plenty. Very intelligent men and women. And they thought that they can dupe the Zambian people and the South Africans by saying, we're hiding behind this cafe. We spoke about SADC. We also want to urge the UN. Zambia is an of the United Nations and therefore must be protected by the statutes of the UN. And the UN common position on addressing global corruption. And I'm talking about global corruption because this is the favorite word of Hakainde Hichilema. His surrogates are saying the Edgar Chagwa family don't want President Edgar Lungu's mortal remains to be buried in Zambia because they are fearing court cases. How? How? What is the relationship? Even when President Edgar Lungu was ill, Madam Esther Lungu was being subjected to coming into Zambia in the morning to attend court and travel back to South Africa in the evening to go and attend to her sick husband. How can anyone claim that we're trying to use the body of Edgar Chagwa to run away from judges? No. Like I said, the common position on addressing global corruption emphasizes that corruption-related findings and recommendations, whether through the Universal Periodic Review Mechanism, the UN Human Rights Council, or Human Rights Treaty bodies, must be acted upon by the UN. Zambia, under the authoritarian watch of President Hakainde Hichilema, has already been found guilty in international reports of human rights violations and systematic abuse. We therefore call upon the UN to take a stand on this matter. They cannot publish reports and not take a stand. we call upon the UN to take a positive stand to ensure that the human rights abuses by Hakainde Hichilema are stopped. This is a very damning indictment of a government that has lost its moral compass. The world is watching, and so are the Zambian people. The level of impunity and lies has led to people even claiming that a person like myself, who has stood with the Patriotic Front and stood with Edgar Chagwa Lungu, who was his Minister of Justice, and while performing the functions of Office of Minister of Justice, would have supported an impeachment against Edgar Chagwa Lungu. How? How small is Chavinga's brain for him to even make such an allegation? Anyway, the people out there, the Zambians out there, know better. And I will not make any further comment on it. We were also told in Chavinga's so-called extraordinary press briefing about plans to send thugs, organize lethal operations, and even steal public resources. All this he was saying while claiming that he is Patriotic Front. Let it be very clear that we in the PF dissociate ourselves totally from Chavinga. Only to say to him so he can report to his paymasters and sponsors, we in the Patriotic Front, we in the Tonse Alliance, and all Zambians of goodwill shall never be intimidated. Yes. We have been told about the people who are on the list awaiting arrest as a result of Edgar Chagwa Lungu's funeral, and that they'll be arrested after Edgar Chagwa Lungu's burial. That will not intimidate us. We shall continue to mourn him, and we shall continue to stand by the side of the family. That his motto remains, be buried or deposited outside Zambia until such a time that the environment in Zambia is good enough for us to come and find them, pay our last respects, and bury our dear president. And his motto remains, here in Zambia. And that day is coming. We will not, the Patriotic Front, we will not hand over our party to conmen or government agents hiding behind forged documents and audio stunts. We will not. We will also stand with the church, because we know that the church is a subject of ridicule by the UPND and its surrogates. We will stand by them because we know that they are the salt of this earth. I have mentioned a number of steps that we shall take to ensure that we protect the democracy of our country. We are also going to write a letter to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Relations of Zambia for them to clarify the role that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Zambia is playing in organizing demonstrations in South Africa against the family of Edgar Chagwa. What is their role? What is the embassy of Zambia in Pretoria doing about those protests? We heard how they are planning to dress up their cadres and thugs in PF regalia in Zambia for them to be protesting, claiming that they are PF and protesting that the family of Edgar Chagwalungu must bring back the mortal remains of our president to Zambia. We want to advise you, stop it. Stop it. Because the truth of the matter is that all PF members stand in support of the Edgar Chagwalungu family. Yes. Let us see one stage-managed protestation against the decision of the 100 more protests in support of Edgar Chagwalungu. Clean up the prisons because we are ready to come into prison. Don't you provoke us. Don't provoke us. If you are going to organize one protest against the Edgar Chagwalungu family, the true family of Edgar Chagwalungu, the PF family with our friends in Tonse, and all many well-meaning Zambians shall make sure that we protest to tell you that we support the family of Edgar Chagwalungu, for them to put him in his remains where they feel safest. We also reserve the right to campaign. You have stopped us from campaigning for too long. The time has come. In less than a year from now, we shall be going to the polls. And yet you're not allowing us to campaign. You're not allowing us to mobilize. Plan B is coming. Yes. You will be shocked with our new strategy for campaign. Yes. I'd like to end by once again appealing to President Hakainde. President Hakainde, your man Chavinga has told the whole world in no uncertain terms that the boss of Doreen, Minister Doreen Mwamba, called him 12 times. And that finally when the boss spoke to Chavinga, he told him, speak to Friday. No, I'll tell Friday to call you. And then Friday called him and they spoke. And he said, I'll follow boss's instruction. And the instructions were for him to go to South Africa, to go and bribe the South African judge, to go and organize state-managed protests. Can you please tell us, who is Doreen Mwamba's other boss besides yourself? Can you ask Doreen Mwamba to explain to us, sir, that she has another boss besides you? Tell us, sir, that you're not the one who called Chavinga. Tell us, sir, what you expect of the Zambian people, if indeed you are the one who is through Chavinga interfering or attempting to interfere with the independence of the judiciary of South Africa. What should we do? Sir, if we don't get answers from you, I will be the first one to lead the Zambians to disown you. Yes. Because interfering with the sovereignty of another country is a criminal offense. And I don't think Zambians must associate themselves with elements that interfere with the sovereignty of other countries. I beg you, sir, please exonerate yourself, not only by words, but also by deeds. He who accuses you, sir, even those who have just called you names, are serving sentences. This one has said you are a criminal. How can our head of state be called a criminal and the person who calls him a criminal goes scot-free? Sir, arrest Chavinga today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Acting President. Before I ask the media Acting President to recognize a colleague who is in our midst, who is the mayor for Chama North and Chama South. He's the mayor for both the constituencies, Mr. Mwenda, who is in our midst behind them. And just for the record, and purely for the record, I want to recognize, I know most of you media don't know that we have a deputy spokesperson for Don't Say Alliance. It's rarely in our midst. I want to recognize Ephraim Shakafu. That's our deputy spokesperson. So it's time to ask questions. If there are any questions, please ask in relation to the message that Acting President has delivered. Yes, sir.
I've got a question and contribution. First of all, I want to appreciate I'm Joseph Chimbaka. I want to appreciate Acting President, Honorable Given Lubinda, for the great job that you have done for the Patriotic Front. You have put Patriotic Front together since we lost power, and at the same time we have seen maturity in the Patriotic Front. I call upon all the leadership of the Patriotic Front. This is not the first time to lose a president of the Patriotic Front. Marcos Sata died. You have to go back to your roots. How you came up with a president after we lost Marcos Sata. We don't want confusion at the end of the day. That is the contribution I want to see unity and love in the country. The death of Kalungu left one thing upon all opposition political parties to benefits of the Zambian people. My question is, what guarantee are you going, or what assurance are you going to give the Zambian Patriotic Front, PF, will be on a ballot paper, since for the past years we have never seen PF.
I'll take a second question if there's any, so that we combine all questions. Anyone with a question? Okay, I'll allow the Acting President to take that question.
See, even my friend Shimba didn't ask a question related to AI, because he knows that AI is useless. People are talking about AI. Thank you, Tishimba. Thank you very much for your kind words. It hasn't been because of one thing. I want to assure you, it has been because of the unity in the Patriotic Front. All my colleagues have been united. All my colleagues have been supportive of me. Even now, all our colleagues in Tonse are supportive of all of us.
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Alright, that's all for you today, lovely viewers. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the video you just watched in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you, lovely viewers. Once again, I go by the name of Mutati Mpundu. I love you, peace, I gotta go.
Recording